We got 24 hours notice and we jumped on a plane.
What I'm seeing around me is complete devastation of the area.
We're here today in a camp just outside of Afrin of displaced people.
Peter Barnes, Josh Tunley and Jessica Hickingbotham are three everyday Australians carrying out one extraordinary mission.
At the moment, what I'm missing is family and friends and stability. At the moment, every time we have an aftershock, it's sort of like I wish I was home.
Peter is from Melbourne, but now finds herself in northwest Syria, working for aid agency UNICEF. Josh and Jessica are in Turkey, sent by Samaritan's Purse within 24 hours of the first massive earthquake.
G'day, my name is Josh. I'm a paramedic back in Queensland, Australia.
They agreed to record these video diaries to give all of us back home in Australia some idea of what's been described as the worst natural disaster in the region for a century.
There are collapsed buildings, houses, all sorts, just complete destruction of this area.
Not only trying to mend broken limbs and save lives, but also rapidly adjusting to cold weather, creating even more sickness.
It is incredibly cold here. It is often below zero. There's snow in the mountaintops and stuff around us. Although it's beautiful, unfortunately, it exposes a lot of people to the elements.
Hi, I'm Jess from Samaritan's Purse. I live in Victoria, Melbourne.
30-year-old Jessica Hickingbotham is working as an ICU nurse in the 52-bed emergency field hospital sent by plane to the area by Christian aid agency Samaritan's Purse.
The logistical challenges of getting a hospital set up are enormous, especially in a place where there has been an earthquake.
David Ingram is Executive Director of Samaritan's Purse. A Current Affair has documented its previous extraordinary work, flying into northern Italy during the first wave of the COVID pandemic, and then to Ukraine last year in the middle of Russia's cruel war.
We want to be the ones that run towards a disaster because we know that there are people suffering, people hurting, and we want to do what we can to alleviate that suffering and to help those people.
With 47,000 people dead and millions homeless, there are so many here needing help.
Yeah, there's patients that have not even been seen since the earthquake happened. So they've been walking around on their fractures for about 9 days now that we're able to look after them, get them plastered, have operations if needed and get them back out.
Amid the devastation, it's the miracle rescues that keep driving everyone forward.
We've also had a child who was 14 years old who was pulled from the rubble at day 8. Not a scratch on him, but obviously skin and bone, very malnourished.
That boy was treated in their field hospital and walked out healthy within days. He lost all of his immediate family in the quake, meaning his uncle will now take him in.
How hard is it for you to process all of that and keep doing what you need to do?
It's a challenge, because it's hard to respond and see what we see, as well as put all that to the side and just keep focusing on the job. But I'm in a good position. I've got somewhere to sleep tonight. A lot of kids in Northwest Syria don't.
For the past year, Peter Barnes has been tasked by UNICEF to help the people of northwest Syria, an impoverished, war-ravaged region even before an earthquake hit.
Hundreds of thousands of internally displaced people who've been living in tents for a number of years. And then what little shelter they've managed to build, of course, has been primarily destroyed in a number of areas after the earthquake.
Peter's video diaries capture some of the life-saving food and supplies UNICEF has already brought into the region off the back of Australia's generous donations to its earthquake appeal.
What we've been seeing is immense needs in terms of children affected by this earthquake. Health needs are huge, shelter needs are huge.
With a series of large follow-up quakes on top of more than 4,000 aftershocks, Peter says huge trauma is being inflicted on even the so-called lucky survivors.
Monday night we had another significant one, and again they were running for their lives, and it's just trauma on trauma on trauma. You can't ever relax, and you can see that in kids' eyes. You can just see that they're wanting to stick to their parents. They're not talking, they're not playing.
What's your message for Australians about the situation there at the moment?
Thank you for your generosity. Please don't forget about us. The needs are here and they will be here for a long time. And where possible, please do support UNICEF through our earthquake appeal.
Yeah, they're such brave people, aren't they? Doing wonderful work. And if you'd like to help them help others, head to our website for the details.